I find characters to write about, and I become those characters. I think that's the way I write songs. I'm not the central character as a rule. So people know the Kinks' music and they know Ray Davies' songs, but they don't necessarily know who I am.
The Kinks!
Girl, you really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't even now.
You not only know that sound, but you know all those riffs. You know, I went to see Ray recently at the festival hall. That's without a band, it's mainly acoustic. But it's kind of just amazing, that song after song that everyone knows.
The taxman's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home, blazing on a sunny afternoon.
The writing bears scrutiny in all his songs, and you can hear England in all of them.
As long as I gaze on Waterloo sunset, I am in paradise. Every day I look at the world from my window.
Ray Davies is definitely up there with Jagger and Richard, Lennon and McCartney, Gilbert and Sullivan, Morecambe and Wise, the lot. You know, he's just one of those guys that is always going to be part of one's history book.
Thank you for the days, those endless days of sacred days you gave me. I'm thinking of the day.
If you follow somebody's work for a little while, I think you usually find these things of value within their writing that you return to, and his work is of that nature.
The secret of Ray's success is that he's just got it. He's just a wonderful songwriter.
We're laughing at the world's most passionate guy. When I looked in her eyes, almost fell for my love. La 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 la, la 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 la.
The band's never really broken up. We never sat down consciously said, this is it. I think the last gig we did was in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inaugural concert. And if that is the last gig, it was a nice way to go out.
We're laughing at the world's most passionate man. I know what I am. Man, I'm a man who shows love. La 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 la. La 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 la. All together. Love, la woo. La 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 la. La 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 la. Come on, everybody, sing it. Love.
You know, I'm still waiting for the phone to ring for a car to arrive and take me to a gig with them. I don't know where You Really Got Me came from. I have no idea what it was about. I guess the subject matter is this 17-year-old teenager being consumed with this sort of idea of finding this girl. Of course, he's a total virgin, and that's what's nice about the song. You know, it's kind of innocence, really. I was so pleased and so knocked out to find pop music as an art form that I could actually get involved in, because I'd been an art student and I hadn't enjoyed that because other people's rules. But then we were defining our own rules, making our own sort of definitions, breaking our own ground.
You Really Got Me was probably the dirtiest sound that any English band was making at that time. It was a rougher, dirtier sound probably than the Stones were cranking out.
The first idea for You Really Got Me came when I was about 15. I was trying to write country music, and it was like an easy country riff to play. It wasn't until I heard Dave's sound, Dave's green amp plugged into the Vox AC30, that I saw that I think I have some music to fit that sound. So, you know, it's great the way all these things come together and my ideas gel with what I hear, and I cast the record, cast the music for the band.
That guitar sound, of course, was most incredibly important. That fuzz box really made such a sonic difference to everything.
There are certain bands that can thrash out chords, but no one has that edge that Dave has. It's just totally self-taught. It's brilliant.
begin with, of course, they only had that #1 hit, You Really Got Me, and they played a few other blues things.
I only had written about 6 songs on the first album. The rest were covers. People like Chuck Berry, who I completely idolised. Ever since I heard Memphis, Tennessee, he wasn't singing about moon and June and taking my baby for a walk. It was about a man who was separated from his daughter, trying to get through to his ex-wife so he could get access for the weekend. It was more than just a pop song. I think he had a subject matter in his song and a sound, specifically the sound, which grabbed me, communicated initially with me, and it reached across all boundaries. You know, he obviously didn't grow up in Wood Green, you know, but he sang about something that probably somebody in Wood Green could relate to. And of course there was John Lee Hooker, who, when I first heard, you know, Tupelo, Mississippi was the first thing I heard on Jazz Club on the radio. To me it was a complete eye-opener, ear opener if you like, because I didn't know what he looked like, but he was obviously a black American who had had a hard life, and it was coming through in his music. And I thought, why can't everybody make a sound and make music that speaks about their life?
I believe that you and me last forever. Oh yeah, all day and night time yours, leave me never. The only time I feel alright is by your side. Now I want to be with you all the time, all day and all.
I remember Burt Bacharach. He wrote a review, I think, in one of the trades, because he's a great writer. I really admire him very much. But he said a strange thing when All Day and All the Night came out. He said it sounded very neurotic. Yeah, it was neurotic. It was about someone who was very neurotic and very concerned with getting laid or finding a girlfriend, or you know, he may be looking for his girlfriend who's run off with somebody else. And that's, again, a 17-year-old is very important stuff. And All Day and All the Night to me is like, let's go, bow, bow, you know, it's like, go for it. And when we've had some concerts and been through rough times with the band, the only outlet for all the aggression is to go up and play that song. It is a wonderful example of like an emotional exit. I think if I was left alone to my own devices with the Kinks, I think I would have really, truly disappeared that part of my anatomy, because I do think about things too much when I'm writing. I miss a band. I was in a band for so long, years and years and years, decades. So coming to a solo record is like finding out my personality.
For whatever reason, he stayed within the framework of that band for so long, whereas other writers, you know, broke out on their own. The fact that it's his first solo record is quite extraordinary to me.
Why somebody is sort of my age doing that now? But because I'm a writer and I'm a character player. Autumn Almanac was a character song. Sunny Afternoon was. Lola, in a sense, was. That's how I could pull those ridiculous things off, because they were not directed at a career so much as just selling that little 3-minute novel or story, short story. So coming to a record, which is a solo record, is quite daunting. Do I change that? Do I become one image throughout? Jack the Lad has become Oscar Wilde, and the followers of Star say it's the latest thing. And William Shakespeare is the schmooze of the week, and anyone who says different is an antique. And now Coward has become very hard, and the comic says bollocks, and everyone laughs, and that's that. Style, I mean. One of my favourite tracks of all time is What I Say by Ray Charles. It's that piano part, that sort of Rhodes piano. I wanted that sort of club groove, you know, clubby type thing, recorded live. And I felt I had to do that before I died. And I went in there thinking I was going to sound like Ray Charles, but unfortunately I ended up sounding like me.